Hi guys, here's me, Anna Baby Trader, and we are with the binary options trading on the Quotex platform. New strategy today, and we just go. So let's proceed. And 1 minute right here. Here's gonna be candles. Here's gonna be 10 seconds this time, and here's gonna be Bollinger Bands as the indicator that we're gonna use. Changing all the thickness, colors, setups, stuff. In that case, the thickness and pivot. And let's go next. This is gonna be an ADX. And not the ADX this time because it's too heavy. I just tried, but I was in some doubt about the strategy, and plus Bollinger Bands has lots of stuff to check, and ADX also, so I do prefer to make some indicators, some strategies with, like quite understandable visual and stuff, just because if you have lots of things, even if out of ADX you need one or just two lines, whereas if it's there lots of the other lines on the other indicator, it is possible and you may be even correct, but it takes time. And in some cases, if you are even 5 or 10 seconds later, it is just crucial and it may ruin all the profits you are having. And if you've been just trading yourself or watching my videos, you know that sometimes this like a second, this is just your money in the pocket. So this is it, just like that. And look at that. Actually, look at the RSI and the Bollinger Bands, how it actually looks a little bit different. And that's what really interesting in that strategy, because this is not the two repeating lines. Even out of this channel is a line. So let's go and let's start to use it with the trading. And let's try it and let's check it. In that case, we have this as a combination, and that's the easiest way, the easiest just method to find the right entering point. So we are looking for some combinations still in that case, and look at that, just smoothing, falling and then growing with the Bollinger Bands and the RSI showing us it's a little bit different. It doesn't look like, the same, these two lines as I told you before. But anyway, the direction we can manage in that case. Let's see the result. So here we are, and please remember about the RSI, also to think about this 30 and 72 lines. In our case, there's the orange lines that we need to mine these levels too. So the first profit, the first result, and let's see some more situations. Okay, here we are. We're gonna get for a downward bat, and look at that, Bollinger Bands quite flat. RSI quite flat, but tiny direction is actually a little bit seen. It is a downward trend, especially you may see with the candles. With the last situation, it was an upward trend, then it's just changed and started to be the downward one. So we are expecting no changes, at least no drastic changes. So that's why we just made it like that. So, as I told you, we are at the falling, we are just getting down, and we are just in the right point to collect it as a profit one. So here, still the situation is a little bit tricky. Look at that chart, look at that Bollinger Bands. It looks like a little bit crazy because it's flat, but we may detect some smooth rising. And what I do expect right here, right now, look at the RSI. We are at the highest point, and we've been detecting that before. And after we just reaching this highest point, we were just bringing back a little bit and getting downward. So in that case, I do expect it's gonna be still maybe small, maybe some like tiny, but downward tendency. And the Bollinger Bands, especially its highest, look at that, it's highest line showing us the same, that it's gonna be some changing. And even with dark candles, we may see some high volatility situation, and with these 10 seconds candles, it's not that obvious, but anyway, just the whole lines of the indicators. When it's flat, this is the volatility, so we catch it, and this is it. And let's see just the profit, and look at that, all the candles were still flat. It actually wasn't some drastic falling or drastic jumping or anything like that. We were just flat, but we entered at the highest level, and we were expecting that this is not going to be more than this highest level. So that was actually the correct entry point in that case. And here, it's going to be up. It's going to be up, up, up. So RSI showing us we're getting upward. And the Bollinger Bands, I wouldn't say it's still showing us we're getting for some upward trend. But the whole chart, me just checking all the candles that we are having on the chart, have the impression that it's going to be the upward trend. So just check it out. So huge orange candles, a little bit killing me, but look at that. Look not only on the lines of the Bollinger Bands, but of the how wide or how narrow this channel. It started to be more and more narrow, so we don't expect it's going to be some drastic fall in that case. We just had it as a profit, because the wider it is, the more expectations in some cases that next candle are going to be lower in this case. I mean, if we're talking about the orange one at the moment when we are rising. So we were correct, and we got to proceed for one last more. And look at that Bollinger Band. We do expect it's gonna be the uprising. Look at that. Yep, RSI still at the highest point, but you may detect, you may see what actually was happening. And we got some periods when it was just at the highest position, and it was just continuing like that. So I do expect, because the latest trend is an upward one, because the Bollinger Bands were getting wider. So in that case, we do expect it's going to be just continuation. I mean, in that exact case, because sometimes this, the size of it is actually how you read it, depends on the situations in the market, and depends on the second indicator that you are having. That's why I would not recommend use Bollinger Bands or any channel, indicators just in solo, only if you are trying to use it with the parabolic star, and I hate parabolic star, so that's why you might use it just in solo and risk your money. So 10 seconds left. It's not even now rising, and I was just like checking how bad was that. That was pretty bad, because I love it more when it's more stable, more predictable. So I just expected it's gonna be some upward trend, and it actually, and somehow it was some green candles, but anyway, just regarding the whole chart and whole trend, it was a little bit an upward one. So maybe, but in that case, you may see that all the bets were profitable, and if we had actually maybe the downward bet, it maybe still be profitable too. But you need to check the entry point, as I told you, and you need to check your own feelings, and just in cases where it's just so smooth and volatile, be aware of some mistakes. So it's done when it's done, and all the tiny info that I'm giving. I have my chat with the free signals. Please join it. You can find the links below this video or just in my bio, and I'm welcoming for any feedback that you're gonna give me. So we gotta get forth some more, and you gotta stay tuned.